JOE GPT podcast. Check it out.
The JOE GPT Experiment.
It's all fake. All fake. What's up, everybody? We got the king of Bollywood in the house tonight. He's a man who needs no introduction. The undisputed champion of our hearts. Mr. Khan, how are you, sir?
Well, thank you, Joe. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and to be introduced by someone as funny as you are. I think I might have some competition.
I loved your latest movie, Pathan, which has been crushing it at the box office. It's like a Hollywood blockbuster, but with more action, singing, and dancing, and way more vibrant colors.
Glad you liked the movie. I guess Bollywood does have a little something extra, like our singing and dancing. And as for the vibrant colors, well, we like to keep it colorful. You know, in India, we don't just make movies, we make dreams come to life. And when those dreams come true, it's a party.
I know you're a big MMA fan. If you could fight any Bollywood actor in the octagon, who would it be?
I don't think I could ever fight one of my fellow actors. We're all friends and colleagues in this industry, and we support each other's work.
Come on, I bet there's at least one actor who gets on your nerves. Maybe someone who's always stealing your roles or hogging the spotlight.
Well, I won't name any names, but let's just say there's definitely some friendly competition between us actors. But as for fighting in the octagon, I think I'll stick to my day job. I prefer to leave the fighting to the professionals.
Hey, I heard you're a fitness buff. Do you think you could beat me in a push-up battle?
I don't want to embarrass you in front of your audience. I mean, you're a big guy, but I don't think you could handle my push-up routine.
Oh, really? You think you're so tough, huh? Come on, let's see what you've got.
Sorry, I left my push-up mat at home today. But I'll tell you what, why don't we have a dance battle instead? I think I can show you a few moves that will make your head spin.
All right, you're on. But just so you know, I've been practicing my moonwalk.
Oh, I'm not worried, Joe. Just make sure you stretch first. You don't want to pull a muscle when I bust out my patented hip thrust move.
I heard you're a teetotaler. Do you never drink at all?
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm actually a big fan of fruit juice. Nothing gets me going like a nice glass of mango lassi.
Mango lassi, huh? That's a new one.
Hey, I hear you're a big fan of psychedelics. So tell me, what's the craziest trip you've ever been on?
Oh, I've had some pretty mind-bending experiences over the years. It's like the universe just opens up and reveals its secrets to you.
I hear you, Joe. Maybe one day I'll join you on one of your trips, and we can explore the mysteries of the universe together.
Hey, I'm always up for a good trip, but let's make sure we have a good soundtrack ready too. Maybe some Bollywood tunes to set the mood.
Oh, you know me too well, Joe. I've got a playlist ready and waiting. Let's do this.
You've been in the movie business for decades now. Do you ever think about retirement, or are you just going to keep making movies until you're 95?
Retirement? What's that, Joe? I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I just keep going and going and going.
I believe it. But seriously, do you ever worry about burning out or losing your creative spark?
Well, to be honest, I think I'll retire when they pry the script out of my cold, dead hands. But until then, I'm just going to keep doing what I love and sharing it with the world.
That's the spirit. But seriously, what's your secret to staying motivated and passionate about your work?
My secret? It's simple, Joe. I just remember that there are millions of people out there who love what I do and who count on me to bring a little joy into their lives. And if I can keep doing that for as long as possible, then I'm a happy man.
I've been following your career for years now, and I gotta say, you're like the Teflon Don of Bollywood. No matter what happens, you always come out smelling like roses. So what's your secret? Do you own the media or something?
I wish I owned the media. But no, I think it's just a combination of good luck, good behavior, and good PR. I try to stay out of trouble and focus on my work, and I think that's helped me avoid a lot of the scandals and controversies that can plague other celebrities.
Well, you're definitely doing something right. I mean, even I can't find anything bad to say about you. You're like the Mother Teresa of Bollywood.
Now you're just flattering me, Joe. But seriously, I think it's just a matter of staying true to yourself and your values, and not getting caught up in all the noise and drama that surrounds celebrity culture. At the end of the day, all that really matters is the work that you do and the impact you have on people's lives. That's what I try to focus on anyway.
I've got a hypothetical question for you. Let's say you're stranded on a deserted island and you can only have one Hollywood celebrity as your companion. Who would you choose to marry?
I don't think that's a fair question. First of all, I'm happily married. And secondly, I wouldn't want to make any of my Hollywood friends feel left out.
All right, fair enough. But let's say it's a worst-case scenario and you're on this island for years. Who do you think would be the best partner to help you survive?
Well, if I had to choose someone to help me survive on a deserted island, I think I'd go with Bear Grylls. He's not a Hollywood celebrity, but he's definitely got the survival skills to keep us alive.
Bear Grylls, huh? That's a good choice. But what about the companionship aspect? You don't want to spend all those years alone, do you?
I'm sure Bear and I would find plenty of ways to keep ourselves entertained. And if all else fails, we can just sing Bollywood songs and do some impromptu dance routines. That should keep us busy for a while.
I gotta ask, do you believe in aliens? You know, little green men, flying saucers, all that stuff.
Well, I'm from Bollywood, not Area 51. But if you're asking whether I believe in the existence of intelligent life beyond our planet, then the answer is maybe.
Maybe? That's a pretty ambiguous answer. Care to elaborate?
Well, in my culture, we believe in the existence of jinns, which are supernatural creatures that exist in a parallel world alongside humans. So who's to say that there aren't other forms of life out there that we can't see or understand?
I like the way you think. But have you ever had any personal encounters with jinns or aliens? Maybe they're big Bollywood fans.
If any jinns or aliens are listening, I just want to say I'm a big fan of yours too. But in all seriousness, I haven't had any personal encounters with supernatural beings, unless you count some of the eccentric personalities I've met in this industry. But who knows what the future holds? Maybe one day I'll get abducted by aliens and end up starring in a Bollywood sci-fi movie. Now that would be something.
I've been watching a lot of Bollywood movies lately, and I gotta say, I'm impressed. You guys have got the music, the dancing, the romance, everything that Hollywood seems to be missing these days. So my question is, when are you guys gonna take over Hollywood and start putting Bhangra in all our movies?
I think we already have taken over Hollywood. We just haven't told you guys yet. But in all seriousness, I think there's a lot of crossover potential between our industries. We've already seen some great collaborations between Bollywood and Hollywood in recent years, and I think there's a hunger among audiences for more diverse and inclusive storytelling. As for Bhangra, well, you never know. Maybe we'll start a new dance craze in Hollywood, or maybe you guys will teach us some new moves. But at the end of the day, I think it's all about sharing our cultures and finding common ground through our art. And if that means more Bhangra in Hollywood, then I'm all for it.
We've all wondered at some point what we'd do if we could travel back in time. So my question is, if time travel were possible, what era would you go back to and why?
That's a tough one. There are so many eras in history that I find fascinating, from the ancient empires of India to the golden age of Hollywood. But if I had to choose one, I think I'd go back to the 90s and relive the glory days of Bollywood.
The 90s? Really? That's a pretty recent era to travel back to.
I know, it's not exactly the age of dinosaurs or the Renaissance or anything like that. But hear me out. The 90s were a magical time for Bollywood. We had some of the biggest hits and most iconic performances in our history. And the music and fashion were, well, let's just say they were very 90s. Plus, I'd love to go back and relive some of my own career milestones, like my first big break in Deewana, or my first collaboration with Karan Johar in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Those were some truly special moments that I'll always cherish.
I can see the nostalgia in your eyes. Well, if time travel ever becomes a reality, I hope you get to relive those moments and maybe even inspire some new ones. Thanks for bringing your Bollywood-level charm to my humble podcast. I might need to start dancing more often. It was a blast having you here.
Thanks, Joe. It's been a blast. And who knows, maybe we'll make that dance collaboration happen sooner than you think. Just don't forget to practice your Bhangra.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. I want to thank my guest, the one and only Mr. Khan, for joining me and sharing his insights and humor with us. Thanks again. And to all our viewers out there, keep staying curious and keep spreading positivity. We'll see you next time on the JOE GPT Experiment.